What's going on, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get ready to get started in just a few moments. We're going to get into this game, getting ready to head to the Steel City tomorrow night to take on those Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that has been a arch nemesis to us for a very, very long time. We're going to definitely get ready to get going on that. Make sure everybody come on in and share the show. And we're going to see, with it being Pittsburgh week, can Will Levis do it again? Can he take a stranglehold on this job? And we're going to definitely talk about all of that and so much more as we get ready for this game. That could be the major turning point of this season. So we're going to see if we're going to figure out how can the Tennessee Titans defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, a hostile environment, and find their way back to 500 at 4-4. So we're going to get into that. Also, make sure you get your questions ready for Pick My Brain. We'll definitely take a few questions on that, and get your Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week and Dunce of the Day nominees ready. And then we're going to go into how the Tennessee Titans could beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I give you my final prediction on this game. So we're going to get this show started in less than 60 seconds.
Hope you can still go. I never ran, should've known, man, I still go. Hope you can still go. I never ran, should've known, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing? Welcome into TNT tonight. I'm your man Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. We're gonna have a very good episode on this evening. Um, Forgive me, I'm just restarting my computer, just trying to make sure everything goes accordingly. Um, my computer kind of sucks. Let's just be honest, because my microphone shouldn't be going out like it does, and I apologize if that's a bit unprofessional. I know I'm making excuses, but we're still gonna carry on with the show while I get my computer back to normal and back to one. But definitely glad that everybody could tune into the show. Make sure y'all go ahead and share this show out, whether it be on Facebook at TNT Enforcers, on Instagram at Titans underscore in underscore truth, and also on X, Twitter X at TNT Blue Enforcer. Definitely make sure y'all share everything out. Also, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and hit like so that we could go, so that helps me and helps the show and everything. So definitely make sure you hit that like button. I'm getting my computer back together and everything right now. Also, definitely make sure if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit subscribe and ring that bell so that way you can be in the know when I do go live and things like that. So that way you'll know when things are going on. And last but not least as well, also make sure you download Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google Podcasts as well. And definitely make sure y'all tune in to that. I see we got some comments coming through and everything. I know we got C Dub in the building. We got Bruce James. What's up with everybody? Big Dog. We got Do9 up in here. We got Goku up in here. My only concern is, can the O-line play good enough, play good again, and not let TJ Watt have a field day? That is going to be a question we're going to get into. Levis is going to torture the Steelers tomorrow night. I hope so, Big Dog. Really, really hope so on that. Uh, if it was only Watt, I might also. Yeah, and of course there was some news coming out about Cam Hayward, and my other my computer is coming back online, so working now. There we go. So now I am back on my computer now, and just had to kind of work through that. I appreciate y'all being patient with me on that and everything. So and then we got a good super chat coming in. I'm definitely gonna get to that. But yeah, I see we got Titan Fox. We got Ms. Mims coming in. Of course, are I know a lot of y'all are pretty happy. My phone actually worked fine. Titan 5. My phone worked fine. I was just trying to make sure I got my computer back up again. Sometimes I had to start it over. But the phone did what it had to do to kind of help me out until then. And everything. So this is gonna be a tough test. And I know I got a super chat already, and I'm gonna go ahead and give that attention to Derek Roberts saying, can this season be salvaged? Can we go on a giant wild card run? That is a good question. I honestly don't know. Um, I don't know, and I am not gonna go in saying that they will or won't on that, because as I've said to everybody, I'm really going into this season. I'm going into the rest of this season, these last 10 games, with a very much open mind. And I think all of you should as well. Like, I honestly don't have any expectations going the rest of the season. Yes, it was great to have that win on Sunday. It does kind of give me a new reborn, rejuvenation a bit, but at the same time, I have to also remember, don't get too high, don't get too low. And so um that is what I am definitely trying to get into and just trying to remember is that you can't I take the victory for what it is. It was a good win. It was a very good win, but got to look ahead, got to look forward in heading towards Pittsburgh. So that's what we definitely got to do on that and everything. But yes, going into the Pittsburgh game, before we do get into that, news coming out: Minka Fitzpatrick will not play. He is ruled out. Kenny Pickett not designated on any injury report, barring a last minute decision. It looks like he is going to play for the Steelers instead of Mitchell Trubisky, which I would have rather been facing Trubisky than facing Kenny Pickett. And then Cam Hayward was activated off of injured reserve today. And so now he's going to play as well. He's going to play as well. So we're definitely going to get into all of that. But they activated they've already activated Cam Hayward in time for tomorrow night, so all signs point to Cam Hayward playing tomorrow. So we're definitely going to see um, if he actually does play, but it does look like he's going to return. Um, it definitely looks like he's going to return and play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which makes things a little bit more difficult for the Tennessee Titans offensive line as far as that is concerned. So we're definitely going to find out some things about that. I see a lot of comments are rolling on in and everything, but we're definitely going to get to that. True enough, we haven't beaten the Steelers in a very long time. And that's going to be something that we're going to have to definitely get over. So, and that's what we're going to do. But first off, what we're going to definitely do is we're going to go into who do we feel, if you haven't caught the post game from yesterday, go ahead and go check that out. Definitely check out the post game. We definitely got into it as far as just kind of going over the game, what was good, what was not good, and things like that. And then come on back in with that. But we're definitely going to start off with before we go into the two-tone blue star of the week, there was some NFL news that did happen. Some NFL news that did happen. The Raiders, I mean, they're in a complete clean house mode. They fired head coach Josh McDaniels and general manager Dave Ziegler late last night, early morning. They fired both of them. They also fired the offensive coordinator as well. And I believe his name is Lombardi. They're basically cleaning house after that game against Detroit. And I mean, man, they're in a really bad spot. And so now Mick Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, also fired as well. And the interim head coach is former Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce. And then, of course, they have an interim general manager in Champ Kelly. So linebacker coach Antonio Pierce and assistant general manager Champ Bailey now Champ Kelly, take over as the new interim head coach and general manager. Right now, I would say, look, I know the Titans were in a bad way before the game last week, but would you like to be the Raiders? Because Devontae Adams just doesn't seem happy, and he probably wanted out. The Raiders didn't trade him, and so that that is it's a fire sale going on in Vegas right now, and that's not a place where you want to have some bad football happening because Vegas could control the sports world one day. So that is something that we're definitely going to, monitor around the league with the Truth Legal Report about that. But man, Josh McDaniels should not get another head coaching job ever again. I mean, he bombed in Denver, he bombed in Vegas, and you know, and so I really don't know if he gives an offensive coordinator shot. He's better as an offensive coordinator, but Josh McDaniels stinks. They stink. And okay, where was I? I'm sorry, y'all. Uh it's just this can be very frustrating with computers and everything, but um, so I have to definitely do something on that. It is I don't know why I feel like I have to update anything, but I'm definitely getting that fixed and everything. But maybe what happened with the Raiders is why I'm in a mess right now with my computer. But um, definitely glad we're not in the Raiders situation right now. JS85 said they shouldn't have fired John Gruden. Um, I mean, John Gruden was not that good. Was not that good in his second round. So CW says, I'm real good with PCs. I can take them apart and put them together without looking by now. Man, I wish maybe I could. I wish I could use that. So that'll be something. Big Dog said if we go 3-8, Vrabel might be next. I mean, hopefully he doesn't, hopefully he doesn't ruin um Will Levis. That's the thing I am kind of worried about is that is that um is that they will ruin this kid, and I'm hoping that's not the case. So we're definitely gonna find out in regards to that and everything. But we're gonna keep pushing forward with the show as I get my computer to somewhat act right. But I want to know from everybody Who is your two-tone blue star of the week? Who shined in this game? I'm pretty sure it's an obvious no-brainer where we could probably go with this. But there's a couple of other people that we're looking at as well. Let's see. CW says another thing. You gotta go look at the O line and target. CJ Stroud had at Ohio State. Young had at Alabama. A lot of people don't take these type of facts into account when they look at Titans drafting Levis. I mean, yeah, CJ Stroud had Marvin Harrison Jr. and Uguba. I forget the young man's name that is at Ohio State now. I did see the Vikings got Dobbs, which I was kind of wondering if they would get Tannehill instead, but they didn't. But who is your two-tone blue star of the week? Is it Will Levis? Is it DeAndre Hopkins? Is it Derrick Henry? Could it be Big Jeff? Which way would you lean when it comes to that? And I think I might have my computer back online. But who are your two-tone blue stars of the week? Let's see. Derek Roberts says, sadly, it does seem like um sadly it does seem like um he might save Vrabel's job. Levis may save Vrabel's job. JS75, I think D Hop will stay, will still play. A toe injury won't stop Dion for balling out. And maybe they're just putting that on there, and it could be just a simple it could be just a simple giving him rest because D Hop, they rest him some at times. So I could definitely see that being the case as well. Derek Robert go with Levis. Big dog D Hop has turf toe, but he's going Levis all day. CW says people don't worry about Vrabel ruining Levis. Will is Vrabel's guy. Go look at the video when Levis was drafted. How excited Vrabel was when he talked to Will over the phone. He was probably shocked they got him. I don't know if that's the truth though, but we'll definitely see. Yeah, that's the guy at Ohio State now. Emeka Egbuka. That's who's at Ohio State now, catching passes right now. On Facebook says Hopkins, Levis, Henry, the big three. I that is a nice three. DO9 says Levis, honorable mention, offensive line. Bottom tier collector. Been waiting to get the live tonight since Sunday. Well, I am here. I am definitely here. Most of you are going with Levis, and you know what? That is exactly where I am going as well. The two-tone blue star of the week, it's unanimous. It has to be the kid. It has to be the Mayo man. It has to be Will the Mayo man, Will the Thrill Levis. It's got to be him without a shadow of a doubt because this kid only joins two other people with 4 touchdowns in their first start. And that is Marcus Mariota, which we all know what happened to him, and Fran Tarkenton, who is in the Hall of Fame. And so that is pretty major right there.
And so I
I'm
am
with
with
Seattle
Seattle.
that the two-tone blue star of the week is indeed Will Levis. I like it. I think y'all do too. And this kid could have a future. This kid could have a serious, serious future. And so I definitely like Will Levis. I think Will Levis came into play. That man has a cannon for an arm. And I love watching every bit of that happening. But as y'all know, and even though D Hop and Derrick Henry both had nice games as well, I just cannot um I can't pick over Levis. I cannot pick over Levis. Um so I definitely like that. But wherever there is a star of the week, there is also a dunce of the day. And I think I think there is one obvious dunce of the day that I gotta go with. And there could be a couple. Um there could definitely be a couple. Big Dog says Vrabel is just too stubborn, which I agree. Um Bottom tier collector. I'm disappointed. I'm a little disappointed we didn't try for any offensive lineman before the deadline. Not too mad we didn't do anything. Again, good offensive linemen are not going to get traded. Good offensive linemen are not going to get traded. Good offensive linemen don't make it to free agency. CW says Vrabel is a good head coach. Stop with the hate. Yes, he's stubborn, but that also could be a good thing that he's not tossed left and right by every critic. I see coaches that have no backbone to the team's downfall. CW, I got to respectfully disagree. Vrabel ain't that good of a coach. He is stubborn. He's stubborn as a mule. Worse than Mike Mularkey as far as stubborn. I mean, yes, he could be a player's coach, but sometimes he's too arrogant for his own good. The thing about it is that I can't stand, and that probably a lot of people can't stand, is the fact that he thinks he knows everything. And then when something go wrong, he will never take accountability for himself or his coaches, but he'll be quick to throw players under the bus. He'll want to blame John Robinson or Red Carthon saying, well, we don't have enough good players. We don't have enough good players. No, it is the fact that just because, yeah, anybody can give you some good players, but you have to coach them up. So that's the thing about that. That's the thing. And everything. So that's what I can't stand with Mike Vrabel is that he is stubborn as a mule. And that kind of takes away from him being a good coach because at times he doesn't manage the clock very well at times. And then there are other times it's like he looks lost, like he has no idea what he's doing at times in the midst of a game, especially when things are going bad. So that is my issue with Vrabel. And as far as dunks of the day, dare go with Vrabel for putting Malik in to get booed and the fans for booing Malik. He set Malik up. I'm not even, let's see, Bottom Tier Collector says Chig needs to get going. With his talent, Levis can take him where he wants. I do agree. I think Chig does need to step up because Chig has struggled. This is supposed to be his breakout year, and he's kind of in a sophomore slump. Deal9, Vrabel is overrated. Kind of agreeing with that. We should at least sign T. Higgins this offseason. The Bengals ain't going to let him go. They're going to make sure they sign T. Higgins. They're going to make sure they sign T. Higgins. Now, the only problem that they'll probably have is that Jamar Chase is going to make north of $30 million. T. Higgins probably north of 20 some odd million. So they're going to have a lot of money, within, Burrow just got paid over 50 million. Chase, I think not this year, but next year is going to get well over 30 million. And then T. Higgins is going to get a lot of money now. So that's going to be something very, very interesting. But I think Big Dog Vrabel is supposed to have these players ready to play every game. Cookie talking about, Levis being set up. And that's the thing. That's why it has to be Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is the dunce of the day, simply put, because that whole thing with Malik getting booed, all the fans were booing Mike Vrabel. And I would have booed too. Let me just be honest with you on that. I would have booed too. Not at Malik. I feel horrible for Malik because Vrabel time and time and time again has set that kid up to fail. And I don't think Vrabel never once believed in Malik. He has never put him in a position to succeed. Now, Will Levis, I think they put him in better positions to succeed. But with Malik, Vrabel has put him in every position to fail. And we're seeing it. The kid's confidence is shot. And it's a shame that Malik had to take that abuse with the boos, and I appreciate the players sticking up for Malik and everything, but that is what your teammates are supposed to do. But Mike Vrabel set him up to fail because Mike Vrabel, again, being stubborn as a mule, he did that out of spite. And anybody that says that he didn't or was arrogant by doing that, just tried to prove to the media and to the national media that, you don't know what you're talking about. I was right. I never said Will Levis would go be the starter. I said I was going to rotate both quarterbacks. I was right. Y'all was wrong. That's the only reason Vrabel did that. That's the only reason Vrabel did that. D09 said, I don't know that. Come on, man. Anybody knows that. He did that out of spite. Come on. Be realistic and think about that. The report comes out from Ian Rappaport. Somebody on the inside basically told Ian, Will Levis is going to be the starter. Will Levis is expected to start. Vrabel comes out and says, I never said that. And not only that, he doubled and tripled down on this whole stupid two quarterback system, which everybody around the world thought that was stupid, thought that was a dumbass idea. And Vrabel did it anyway. He did it anyway just to prove he feels he knows it all and that we don't know nothing. I'm going to put a question to everybody. True or false? Wasn't it stupid for Vrabel to say, I'm playing two quarterbacks and then go ahead and do it? True or false? If anybody says false, you done lost your mind. And I love each and every one of you. Anybody that says false, you done lost your damn mind. And that's the honest truth. So I want to hear that. True or false? That was stupid by Vrabel, the whole two quarterback thing. Not only he tried to deny Ian's report, he doubled, tripled down on it, and did it in the game. Come on now. Come on now. That's just being real. And Ms. Bibbs, again, like I said earlier, I don't think the fans were booing Malik. They were booing Vrabel and the coaching staff because that was a dumb decision. That was the wrong time to do that. Now, I understood if there were like maybe a couple of, trick plays or set plays for Malik, but Will Levis got a first down on a quarterback sneak, and then they take him out for Malik. That was a dumb idea. Now, if it was like maybe like a 2nd and 2 or a 2nd and 3, 2nd and 1, 3rd and 2 or something like that, and maybe in a little bit better territory, I maybe could have seen where they bring Malik in there for that. Big Dog say too stubborn to take Dillard out of the game. Early in the season, yes. This point, unfortunately, he has no choice. Well, no, yes, he does. Let me not lie about that. He could put Dylan Radins at left tackle, which I don't know for any reason why he won't even try that. He could put Dylan Radins at right tackle. Anything instead of Andre Dillard. And right now, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, they are probably licking their chops, salivating to be on that side. Is Vrabel to blame when Willis holds on to the ball and does not throw? First time rookie throw 4 touchdowns. I mean, again, I'm not saying Malik is perfect. Yes, Malik held on to the ball too long. Very indecisive with what he wants to do. But it seemed like he wants to look to run first. And it's like the coaching staff probably has scared this kid, so saying, look, throw the ball. You got to throw the ball. Don't look to run. I mean, and again, I've said this time and time again, if you're going, it's like they kept trying to put a square peg into a round hole. They kept trying to make him run the offense like he was Tannehill. Instead of putting like some bootlegs, some rollouts, some stuff where he hikes the ball, he moves to the right or moves to the left, try to move the pocket. They would never do that. With Levis, they did some of that in the game, if you notice. Bernie Devil says, Truth don't like Vrabel at all. You're damn right I don't. I was, in a very small way, I ain't even gonna lie, I kind of was hoping we lost so that way I'd have more ammunition against Vrabel. But I'm going to sit back because right now Levis might have saved his job for the moment. For the moment. Let me see. Derek Roberts says truer. Big Dog says true. And here, bottom 2 says, I love the fact TNT is mad after the best quarterback performance Tennessee has had since Mario's first game. Here's the thing. I'm not mad about this. I'm actually, like I said, with Will Levis, I am quite satisfied. I'm just mad at Vrabel for that stupid crap. CW says, of course, a Vrabel defender. It was not stupid. He wanted to put some game plan scenarios for Atlanta. It was stupid. Don't, come on, C-Dub. C-Dub, you know I love you. You are smarter than that. I know you are. I know you smarter than that. You come on, man. I got love for you, but you know the truth. Come on. Cookie says true. Big Dog says true. Levis' performance better than Mariota from Goku. Very much true. And I mean, now Malik, yeah, he ain't really it. Even though I feel terrible for him. No one needs the game plan scenario at Atlanta. Right. Yeah, unfortunately, Levis might have saved his job for the moment. So we're gonna definitely keep going. Can we get Travis Hunter from Stevie? Man, that would be so nice. I don't know if he's ready though. I don't know if he'll be ready to draft. Ms. Mim says true. Ms. Mim says true. Um, let's see. So Bernie Devil says the fans told Vrabel how stupid it was with the booze. Absolutely. So Vrabel is the dunce of the day. And now we're gonna quickly yeah, I got your question, bottom tier, and I'm gonna answer that in just a moment. Um, but now we're gonna quickly go into stock up, stock down. Whose stocks are up, whose stocks are down right now after this Atlanta game. So I want y'all to get as we go over this, I want you to give me your stock ups, and then we're gonna go stock down. We're gonna start with stock up. Stock up. Will Levis. This dude's stock is definitely going up. I think his stock is definitely going up, and he will be starting tomorrow night. And even before we get into Pittsburgh, if he does well in this game, whether you win or lose, if he goes in there and throws for, I'll just throw it out there, another 250 yards or 230 yards, like 2 or 3 touchdowns, no picks, or even if he has one, and he's not the reason that you lose the game, or if he goes in there, does well, and they win, you cannot go back to Tannehill. You can't go back to Tannehill. You got to stick with Will Levis. You got to stick with Will Levis. You would have to stick with him the rest of the way, and I think that's what they should do. They should stick with Will Levis for the rest of the season, no matter really what happens in this game. Because I mean, you can't just keep going back and forth. And I'm gonna tell you why I have Vrabel once again. Stock keeps going down, in my opinion, because of some crap that he said. But Will Levis' stock is up. DeAndre Hopkins, his stock is up. I think DeAndre Hopkins was like, don't trade me. I want to play with that dude. I want to play with that quarterback. So I think D Hop wants to stay and play with this kid. Harold Landry. Finally, Harold Landry has shown up. And he's had, I believe, 3 sacks in the last 2 games. After struggling early on, you know, he might, you know, he's saying he's feeling better and better each week. He might actually be coming into form. And, you know, as they say, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And so hopefully he is rounding into form, and could definitely be of you know, really help put this vaunted pass rush back on the map. Offensive line, a little. You know, they held up pretty good, even though Will Levis did take a few hits. And I mean, I think the sacks were not necessarily on Levis. I know the last one, you know, he just kind of, you know, nobody was open, so he went down, made Atlanta call that last time out, and everything. So I think the offensive line held up. I am nervous about this without Chris Hubbard in there. NPF having to move back to right tackle, and then Dillard playing left. So I don't know what they're gonna do in that situation, as far as that goes, but I don't like Andre Dillard being in there at left tackle again. Ryan Stonehouse is a weapon. Is a weapon. I don't care what anybody says. Stonehouse, that is my freaking punter. Stonehouse is that dude is a punter and a darn good one. This dude is averaging 51 yards a punt, averaging net of 45, almost 46 yards a punt net average. So average punts period is well over 50 yards, almost 52 yards, which means that any opponent, whatever the punt is minus the return, equals to the net punt average. His net punt average is right at 46 yards. So he's averaging only about a 6-yard return most of the time. So I mean, that dude can flip the field without a doubt. And obviously a lot of you are definitely talking about my stock down, which we're going to get into that. One is Mike Vrabel, because he was stupid on that play. And the other thing that really puts stock down on Vrabel is that he just won't admit. And Ms. Mim says stock up Henry, also Hopkins, Simmons. Yeah, Big Jeff, I think his stock is already up. I didn't really have to say anything on that. Simmons stock is already up. Edmonds, I don't know yet. He just got on the team. But stock down Mike Vrabel, not just for that stupid stunt that he pulled with Malik, but also he just won't come out and say Will Levis is the starting quarterback when we all know that. We all know that. We all know Will Levis is going to be the starting quarterback on Thursday. I mean, he comes out and says, well, Ryan's not going to practice. Ryan's not going to be able to practice. He's, very, very limited in what he could do. But he's still, he would still go on to say this, quote, and I ain't saying it's exactly right, but he basically said, Ryan Tannehill is going to be very limited. He's obviously not going to be out there, but, we're still going to see, before Thursday night. And, if Ryan can't go, then we're going to be going with Will. I mean, he is still holding out that little glimmer of hope that Ryan Tannehill can somehow play. And that makes me wonder, will Vrabel be that dumb that even if Tannehill is healthy, and I think we all know this, no matter what happens with Tannehill, you stick with Will Levis. You got to see what you got. You do not go back to Tannehill if he's healthy, even if he's healthy. If Will Levis is winning games or playing well, you don't go back to Tannehill. Tannehill should not play another snap this season unless there's an injury. That is the only way. That is the only way. Just say it and quit being scared to say it. Vrabel acting like he's too damn scared to just say, you know what, I'm going with Levis. I understand. Some people say, don't want him to get the big head. Well, that is up to the player. So I give that to Vrabel. Ryan Tannehill, the main reason he's on this list because I think his job is done. Right now, Ryan Tannehill's only job is to mentor this kid. Mentor Will Levis and make sure he is, definitely make sure that this kid is successful. That is his only job. A lot of you have said Treylon Burks is down. And I would agree with that. Treylon Burks, his issue is being available. The best ability is availability. And that is one of Burks' biggest problems, is that he can't stay healthy. And when he's in there, I mean, he had a couple of good chances. I think somebody mentioned it in the comments. He had a couple of good chances to make you play Burning Devil. But the defense was good at covering him. Well, I think on both passes were good passes. I think on the first one, Will Levis might have been maybe a tenth of a second late on the throw, but it was a good throw. And the defender just made a play on it right when it was about to fall into Burks' hands. So that was pretty much a good defensive play. The other one I thought was a good throw, and Burks maybe had a shot at it, but it was going to be out of bounds on that one. But other than that, it's like I didn't really see Burks any other time the rest of the game, which I don't like the fact that he's disappeared more than most. And, with DeAndre Hopkins, Hopkins already, right now, DeAndre Hopkins has 504 yards. He will surpass our leading receiver last year with 24 yards. With 24 more yards, which he will probably get in this game, he will surpass our leading wide receiver from last year. Robert Woods had 527 yards in 17 games. DeAndre Hopkins has 504 yards in 7. And we still got 10. He's already finna catch Robert Woods, and we still got over half a season left. He is on pace for 1,200 yards receiving. And then speaking of Burks doesn't even have 100 yards receiving. 6 catches, 99 yards. That's all he got. Nick Westbrook-Akina has double the touchdowns, has 3 touchdown catches. Burks has 6 catches total. Not good at all. Malik. And the reason I put Malik on this list is because it's pretty much over for him. I think the Titans need to do him a service and trade him at the end of, in the offseason. And let some other team, maybe for a 4th or a 5th or something like that, maybe somebody who's desperate for a quarterback, let them get him and see if they can turn him into something. And I really hope that Malik goes to another team and does well. So I really do think that Malik deserves to go somewhere else and be able to flourish under a good offensive coach. And Aaron Brewer, I know I gave some credit to the offensive line, but Aaron Brewer is the weakest link. He is the weakest link. He is the weakest link of this offensive line. And of course, he's a Vrabel guy. He's a Vrabel guy. He's the guy that's like, man, Aaron Brewer, man, I love him. He's tougher than a $2 steak. I'm tougher than a $2 steak. Doesn't mean I'm great. That doesn't mean I'm good at my job. But Aaron Brewer is not that great of a center. I think, honestly enough, offensive line, tackle, and center is definitely a need. Without a shadow of a doubt. And we'll definitely see about that. But those are my stock up, stock down. Rob said, yes, over for Malik. Burks is Corey Davis 2.0. Of course, Corey Davis is retired. Ms. Mim says, what Tannehill needs to do is stay in Nashville and get better. He could be a quarterback coach. I think that's all he could do. That is sad for Burks. Trade Burks in the offseason. I don't want to give up on Burks just yet, but let's see. TD says, even if Braves wants Tanny to start, if Levis is still playing good, I don't know, Rand and Amy Adams won't let Braves bench Levis. Well, we know, again, Braves is stubborn as a mule. We know he's stubborn as a mule. And we know Braves has a lot of power. So we're definitely going to see about that. But he would be stupid to start Tannehill now. But let's quickly go into pick my brain because I got a few questions out there. And so let's go into pick my brain. Pick my brain. We got Two-Tone Fat. What's up with you? And so Derek Robbins, of course, in the super chat. Can this season be salvaged? I mean, it could. Will Levis could be the thing that does salvage this season. I could definitely see that happen. And I mean, I would not say salvage as far as wins and losses, but I would say salvage as let's see if Will Levis can be the guy. Let's see him and DeAndre Hopkins grow together. Let's see if Burks can actually be involved. Can this defensive line kind of start coming back to form as they do? Maybe when Hubbard comes back, can NPF really be the left tackle that we've been missing? Because if NPF actually becomes a decent left tackle, you may not have to draft one. So it could be salvaged. Now the Giants wild card run, I don't know. But I mean, at the end, anything can happen in the playoffs. Like they say, it doesn't matter. Hey, get in the dance. If you get into the dance, anything can happen. You could come into the dance alone and walk out with the girl of your dreams. So anything can happen in the playoffs. Let's see, Ms. Mims says, why the Titans couldn't wear their throwbacks to the Steelers tomorrow night. I think with the throwbacks, I think they can only wear it, I think by rule, maybe a couple of times out of the season, I think is the rule. I'm not 100% certain. I'll look that up. But they were probably saving that for home games. They will wear them in front of the home crowd. Now, the only time I will wear them on the road is in Houston against the Texans and beat them down and kind of spit in their faces. I would love to be there for that. And that might be one game I actually think of going to when the Titans are at home against the Texans and they're wearing those throwbacks. But they just wore them. I know he said done to the day fans that booed Malik. I mean, they were booing Vrabel mostly. Bottom tier said, wanted to ask you, I heard NPF was moved to left tackle. I was too enamored with Levis to notice. Did NPF look decent? I don't think he looked too bad at left tackle. I have to go back and really watch. And I should have done that earlier today, but I didn't get a chance to. But, I mean, I don't think NPF gave up sacks or anything like that. So, I think NPF did fine at left tackle. The offensive line seemed to be fine. I think things kind of changed once Dillard got in there and Hubbard went down with an injury. So is a thing that could be a little bit concerning is NPF back at right tackle with Dillard at left. But it seems Dillard doesn't know how to play any other position besides left tackle, which is a weakness for him. Parker D says, in your opinion, if Levis was our guy, he needs a young wide receiver one. Burke's not working out, in my honest opinion. Should we draft a wide receiver or trade for a true number one? Again, I think it might be too soon to give up on Treylon Burks, but if we were anywhere close for Marvin Harrison or for Marvin Harrison from Ohio State or Keon Coleman, who is a dog in Florida State, I would take one of those guys without thinking twice. I most certainly would. I would definitely take him. The only problem is Burks will go somewhere else, and you will never hear about him being injured again. You haven't heard about AJ being hurt. You haven't heard about David Long really being hurt. A lot of the former Titans, you haven't heard about them being hurt like that anymore. Adoree, you haven't really heard about him being hurt. Maybe a little bit, but you ain't heard much about A.J. Brown being hurt at all since he's left. None. And there's Miss Sunshine Lavender. Hopefully you're feeling better. That's the missus. Bottom just says, can't wait to see Dillard punted from the team. The kid from USC can't hurt either. I got to see who that is as far as receiver. Drake May, I know, is the quarterback. I would sure wish we played the uniforms in Houston, but we're playing them at home. Josh says, I think we finished 9-8, win the division, sneak into the playoffs in ugly fashion. Hopefully not at 9-8. 10-7, I will be okay with. Are buyer jerseys on sale? Most likely, yes. Bottom tier says, anything's possible. Schedule is weak. We'll see about that. Facebook says, what do you think about our defensive secondary? Had a good game, had a decent game against Atlanta. Still don't have a lot of trust in Fulton. I think Murphy Bunning, I think, is pretty decent. I think Murphy Bunning has not been too bad. Fulton, I still got questions about. I think Elijah Molden could definitely fill in at safety. I think he's getting used to that position again. So, I mean, the secondary could get better at some point. We're definitely going to see about that. But that's it for Pick My Brain. We're going to quickly go ahead and let's get into this game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They kick it off at 7:15 tomorrow. It's going to be on Amazon Prime Video. So if you got Amazon Prime, you definitely check it out. And everything. I will be, of course, doing my normal live stream as usual. And we're definitely going to get into that. So, I am I'm very, much looking forward to this game. We're going to be in a hostile environment on the road. In a hostile environment on the road against a team that, it's been an arch rival of ours and a team that recently has had, in the last decade, has had a lot of luck against us, and we've had some issues against them. But, this team, this Pittsburgh team, they definitely have some players. They definitely have some players that can cause some trouble. And we're definitely going to talk about that in just a moment. I am loading up something. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are a team that they have always been notoriously good defensively. Have been notoriously good defensively. Maybe not as much this year, but they do have some players. And if you take a look at Pittsburgh, their stats, and I know I probably got this incorrect, so let me take that down. I will fix that. The Steelers coming in, of course, at 4-3 on the year. Let's see. There we go. All right, got that fixed up. I had to make sure I had the right graphic for that. But yeah, the Steelers coming in at 4-3 on the year. They are they got guys like George Pickens, who is really, really turning into a good receiver. For them, 28 catches, 522 yards, 3 touchdowns on the year. Of course, on the defensive side, of course, is the very menacing and very scary TJ Watt on the other side, who I am very much impressed with. I am a fan of. I mean, TJ Watt is a menace. He is an absolute menace. Uh, Coming off the pass rush, 8.5 sacks already on the year, and Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Okay. Let me try to go back and let's see what we were talking about. But like I said, you have a very good you have a very good Pittsburgh team that um can definitely come after you, can come after you in waves and things about that. So I have my mic on mute here, so that was my fault actually. But this Pittsburgh team, even though these stats show that they're not very good in a lot of areas, don't let that fool you. Najee Harris could be a pretty decent running back. You got weapons like George Pickens, who is really turned into a very nice receiver. Deontay Johnson is coming back as well, and they definitely a guy that I'm very familiar with who could be a speed demon is one Calvin Austin III. Gotta watch out for him. That dude is fast. 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 So gotta definitely be concerned on that. Let me know if y'all can hear me pretty good now. I think we should be okay. Making sure everybody can hear me good. Can y'all hear me? I don't want to be too loud. But definitely, if you can't hear me, let me know. But bright lights, Thursday night football, prime time, hostile environment. Can Will Levis do it again and show that he could be the guy? Volunteer says this is a 50-50 game for sure. I think the edge could be outside factors. Short week playing away. If we could just get a lead, I think we could keep it. And that's going to lead me to my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Number one, you got to get off to a good start. Get off to a good start. Try to take the crowd out of it early. Get a good stop defensively. And then go down, get points early to kind of slowly start to take the crowd out of it early. Those terrible towels are going to be waving loud and proud. And the Titans have got to get off to a start and try to take that crowd out of it. Levis has just got to show that poise and not be nervous and just go in there and play his game. But you got to get off to a good start on both sides of the ball. And, and everything. So, definitely got to get off to a good start early and try to take some of that momentum away from that raucous crowd. Number two, weather the early storm. Again, that crowd is going to be loud. That crowd's going to be juiced up. This is a very hostile territory. Pittsburgh is going to be very loud. And they're going to try to rattle. Pittsburgh is going to try to rattle Will Levis, maybe with some things he hasn't seen before. They're going to try to show different coverages. They're going to try to show different things. Now, people know he's coming. And so Pittsburgh now has had a couple of days to try to prepare for him. There's film on him now. Now the question is, how does Levis do knowing the other team knows you're the guy? How does he adapt? And he's going to have to be able to adapt. He's going to have to be able to see things and read defenses and be like, okay, we got to check out this play, check out that play. Because he was definitely showing that he could have some command of the offense. He was definitely showing that. But you got to weather the early storm. CW says definitely keep out of obvious passing downs. Keep that pass rush off balance. I definitely agree. You can't get yourself into constant third and long. You want to have yourself in third and manageable, third and short. Two-Tone Fed says, as long as they contain Watt the whole game, then we'll be fine on offense. Much easier said than done. Much easier said than done. Definitely. So we're definitely going to find out about that. Bottom tier said Levis had pre-snap command like a Hall of Famer. Feel like he'll stare down the Heinz Field distractions. We're definitely going to find that out. Number 3, establish dominance. And this is on the defensive side. Get after Pickett. Wrap up and stop Najee Harris. He's a little bit skinnier, a little bit different than Derrick Henry, but not that much different. Both of them are Alabama running backs. And, Najee Harris is, looked up to Derrick Henry. So treat him like you would Derrick Henry. Get to him, and you got to wrap him up and take him down. Gain tackle. Get after Kenny Pickett. Hit him some. He's got ribs. I'm not trying to say target that area, try to hurt him, but hit him. Rattle him. Kenny Pickett is good, but Kenny Pickett can be decent, but he's still an up and down quarterback. You got to get after him. And I think the pass rush is going to have to come up big in this game. If the pass rush can come up big, this will help the secondary a whole lot against Deontay Johnson, against George Pickens, against Pat Freiermuth or Calvin Austin. You're going to have to be able to establish dominance up front. And in number 4, you notice those stats. Don't let the Steelers get right. Don't let Kenny Pickett go out there and have a good game. Don't let TJ Watt wreak havoc on Will Levis. Don't get this kid hurt. That's going to be the main thing. Keep Will Levis as upright as possible, and you give this kid a chance. That's what we have to do. You got to keep him upright. If you could do that, you have an actual opportunity. And also in that, you got to be right yourself. DeAndre Hopkins, this could be a game that he continues to establish his dominance. Burks needs to show up. Tig needs to show up in this game. We know Derrick Henry's going to do what he do. Hopkins is face, he's going to do what he do. But other guys are going to have to step up too. Harold Landry's going to have a big game. Big Jeff's going to have another big game. Gibbons and Alshire are going to be extremely important in this game. So that's what we're going to have to do. Number 1, get off to a good start. And that is get some points early on the first drive. Get a good stop defensively on the first drive. Number 2, weather the early storm. Short week, hostile territory. Will Levis is just going to have to settle down because I know there's going to be nerves. But get into a flow, get into a rhythm. He can settle down as the game goes on and just play within the game. Number 3, up front defensively, establish dominance. I think this is going to be a defensive game. I expect Will Levis to struggle a little. Maybe not awfully struggle, but I expect him to struggle a little bit. And then last but not least, don't let them get right. Their offense has their struggles. Let's keep it that way. Now, before I get into my prediction, I am going to say this. This is Will Levis's chance to shine. All he's really got to do is have a pretty decent game. It doesn't have to be a pro level game. It doesn't even have to be a MVP type game. If he throws for 230, if he throws for another 230 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, DeAndre Hopkins gets another 100-yard game, or, Chig makes a couple big catches, maybe gets a touchdown, or things like that, and then Derek does, and the King does what the King do, This could be Will Levis' chance to just solidify that he is going to be the guy going forward this season and that there will be no questions about it. So I think get off to a good start, establish dominance, weather the early storm, but don't let them get right. I'm with Stevie. Burks needs to catch something. Get points early. Chig needs to make a difference. Derrick Henry could go over 100 yards, maybe get a score. That, I agree. Can't be too conservative. You got to attack them. Will Levis has shown he could push the ball down the field. So they may be weary of the deep ball and not want everything to go over the top. That's going to open up the middle. That's going to open up over the middle of the field. You can do that. You can take advantage of those situations. So if you do that, you have an absolute chance. And if Will Levis can shine, if Will Levis goes out and has a 260-yard day, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and just shows out, the whole world is going to be feeling the mayo. Everybody going to want to go get some Hellman's mayo. But at the end of the day, here's my prediction. I think the Titans fall here. And the only reason I am saying that, I think they fall 19-17 in a close game. Mainly, the main reason I'm saying that is because I was saying that all last week. I kept saying that the Titans are going to lose in Pittsburgh. And I'm sticking with that. I am hoping I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. And I hope I am. And I kind of making this pick because I, again, kept saying this all during last week's show. And I'm sticking with what I said. Hoping that I am incorrect. I want to come back tomorrow and eat some crow. And that's going to be fine with me. John Reyes said we need to play like the Oilers, not the Titans. I know that's right. Run option with Spears. I mean, yeah. Spears has some nice plays too. Levis unlocked the weapons. Yeah, we definitely got to see about that. That has to continue. But I got the Titans falling 19-17. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. And I think the Titans stay in it, but just don't find a way to get it done at the very end. But I don't think it'll be of any fault of Will Levis. But again, I'm sticking with what I was saying last week. Let's see. We should have won a lot more games this season. The guys in the locker room know. And I mean, there is a certain energy in that locker room now. Like, there's a positive vibe like, we going to rally around this guy. Like, they are definitely looking like they're going to rally around Will Levis. And that's going to be a very, very good thing going forward. But again, I hope I'm wrong on my prediction. But before we get out of here tonight, again, make sure y'all smash that like button for everybody who's been watching. Also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. Hit that bell and hit all under your notifications. I really don't have a blue bombshell except, the Raiders, meltdown that has happened. And I felt for Devontae Adams. I did. I felt for him. I really don't have any blue bombshells or anything like that. Not that I could find. But tomorrow night's a big night. Primetime TV. And I can't wait. I'm excited to see how Will Levis does in Primetime TV. But everybody, I think that's going to just about do it for tonight's show. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. Hope everybody has a good time watching. And tomorrow night, again, I'm gonna try to be live at 6:45 to 7 o'clock, right before kickoff. So we will definitely be ready and get ready for this game. Steelers, Titans in Pittsburgh, and we are gonna get it on and try to get us a victory. So everybody, I just want to say thank everybody for tuning into the show. Everybody watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on Twitter, make sure y'all share the show out. Make sure y'all like or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. We're definitely making a lot of headway. I am nearing 1,400 subscribers. If you haven't, please help me reach that goal. I'm trying to get well over 1,500. I'm trying to get well over 1,500. I will hope to maybe get to 2,000 by the end of the year, by the end of the season. I am closing in on 1,400. Y'all help me out with that, pretty please, on that. So thank everybody for tuning into the show. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. Y'all have yourself a good rest of your evening. I'm about to go get some grub. And I'm going to holler at y'all. And remember, no matter what, tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.